On 17th January 1945, the city was taken by the Red Army from the German occupier, and people started flocking back into the city. Before that, the left bank Warsaw was inhabited by around 20,000 people, which remained there despite the planned action of demolition. However, after the war, after 17th January 1945, people in masses started to return. In 1 year, left bank Warsaw gained around 250,000 inhabitants. And among those inhabitants were mainly women. We have to remember the World War II haven't finished. Men were still at war or in the labor camps deep in Germany. Those women every day traveled throughout the city of ruins, and described that experience to us in oral histories or in memoirs. And what they talk about is more an alien natural landscape. It's not a landscape of the city. It's a place which is described as a landscape after the eruption of volcano. And in that landscape, those women and those people look for warmth, look to inhabit the ruins. And on the left side, on the wall, you can see the reportage of famous Polish photographer Zofia Chomentowska, who photographed women who every day traveled from Praga district, from right bank Warsaw to left bank Warsaw to the ruins, and collected timber to fuel their stoves at home. And those stoves and this search for warmth in ruins is a poetic reference also in the main object in the room. That is a stove made of ceramic tiles found in the archaeological works during 1940s and 1950s in the Old Town. And this stove is here because on the one hand, people were searching for warmth, and on the other, they were searching through rubble to find valuables. And some of the valuables were hidden exactly in such stoves. In the front, you can see vitrines and photographs on the wall, which show you a first mass organization of labor in the post-war Warsaw. That is so-called work brigades established by the first post-war president of the city, Marian Spychalski. This organization employed initially 1,000 people in January 1945, but soon grew to employ 16,000 in May 1945. And those people, according to the archival material, included around 60 to 70% women. And those women were employed in this basic task of the period, that is clearing rubble from the streets, from pavements, from plazas, in order to allow the life back into the city. They did that work without proper clothes, without proper tools, and the organization soon crumbled under the critique of the press. Simultaneously, their work shows, as the archival documents suggest, that it wasn't only about clearing rubble, but also sorting out useful materials, such as steel beams, ceramic tiles, bricks, and their labor showed that rubble was not a uniform detritus of war, but rather a heterogeneous source of materials. On the wooden wall, you can see a work of Bronisław Linke. This is a work coming from a famous artist who returned to Warsaw in 1946. And at that time, he produced his most well-known series of works, that is Stone's Scream. And this series of works depicts ruins, but in a very unique way. Ruins become lively and living creatures which welcome wanderers into the city. And this is the work which shows how strong and deep the experience of entering the city was for people like Linke, who returned at that time into ruins.